Hey guys, how's it going? It is a great day to be in the garden. Nothing major, nothing small, just a fabulous day. I just picked up some Christmas lights. I am so excited about them. I don't know if you guys remember the bubble Christmas lights. They were one of my favorite things in the entire world. I just had them plugged in, so they're still going like crazy. But I just picked up this set. I love the clear, but I plugged them in and they're a little bright. So I'm gonna paint the bottom half of these and leave the top half this clear. I really like it. They also had multicolored, but I think I'm gonna just stick with just these ones. They're so pretty. Look at the bubbles. I remember watching these for hours as a child. This is one of today's projects that needs to get done. Just painting the base of these. I'm gonna unscrew them from the wire, tape them off, and then just hit them with a little spray paint really quickly. So I have my spray paint, I have some tape. I'm just gonna tape off the tops of these and I'm gonna leave them in the wire. I'm not really worried if it gets spray painted. That's gonna just disappear, and I don't wanna get spray paint on the actual bulb. I don't want to get paint on that part and have it short out or anything like that. So I think if I leave them in the wire and just spray paint it, that will be the best bet. And I do like these ones because they did come with a spare bulb. So I'm gonna tape them up and then spray paint these, and then we can move on to the next project. Easy peasy, they are all painted. It started raining on me. Some of them I got a little paint on the glass, but when it's on the tree, you're never gonna see that. And all I had was brown spray paint, so I just went in with brown spray paint, but you can see the bubbles on there? That's because it started really raining. Like, all of that is wet because of the rain. Yeah, but I think that'll be so much better. Actually, I can plug them in, let me see. I'm just gonna take the tape off of one of them and then plug it in really quick so you guys can see. And I obviously didn't do the best job in the world spray painting these. I just wanted it to reduce the light a little bit. Oh, that's so gross looking. It actually looks more vintage. I don't fully hate the look of these with like semi-translucent. I'm not mad at it. It's not like my favorite thing in the world, but it's so much better than what it was before. So I think this is just gonna do great. I probably should have just bought the colored ones. I don't know why I bought the white ones. I should have just bought the colored ones, but whatever. I'm not mad at these at all. I still love them. Now that those are done, there's really only a couple more things that I would really like to do today. One of them is I would like to pull the Japanese anemone that I have over here. Let me show it to you guys. I want to get them pulled out of the ground again, and then I would like to put them in a container. I think that'll be really nice. It'll be really pretty behind the greenhouse. I have an empty rolled rim terracotta pot that'll be perfect in, and I can pull them while they're still young and dormant. Now, I kind of forced them into dormancy when I cut them back because we had dealt with like some burning issue. But I can cut them out. I'm gonna stick them in a container and then stick them behind the greenhouse, and I think that'll be perfect because I like this Japanese anemone. I think it just gets a little too big for the landscape. I would like to find another Japanese anemone, and I would like it to be in the ground, not in a container, but I would like to find one that is more landscape appropriate in size. Also, this area now is way too much sun, so it needs to not be where it is at. I gotta let the dogs in because it's raining now. Okay, these are the Japanese anemones right here. I have them in a tree ring. The tree ring worked really well in this area. I will say though that I didn't get all of the Japanese anemone in the tree ring, so some of it is outside the tree ring. You can see there's my ring right here. I gotta be careful because I've got some onions planted there, which have already started to grow, which is exciting. But I didn't get all the Japanese anemone inside the tree ring when I did this. So back there are some. I thought that I had pulled all of them. I didn't. It was much larger than I thought, which is fine. I'll try to get them all pulled now. This is probably going to be a battle for a little while to get these completely eradicated in this area. Japanese anemone, they spread by rhizomes underground, and so you really got to make sure you get all the rhizomes out, or they'll continue to come back. So I either need to smother it with a tarp or with cardboard or mulch or something like that, so that way they don't come back, or I just need to continue to hand pull, which I'll probably just continue hand pulling because that's pretty easy for me to do. So my plan today is just to dig up some of this, probably like a good chunk of it like that, and then put it in this terracotta pot that I have, and I'm going to take this terracotta pot and I'm going to put that behind the greenhouse. I think that'll be so pretty, having a terracotta pot with Japanese anemones in it. That'll be so stunning this springtime. And what's perfect is I need to top this back up with soil. It's so low, it's sunken in. So I'm just gonna dig them out, set them there, and then I will top up with some soil. I actually just fully thought this through because it's raining and because it has been raining for like a week now, basically. I'm gonna get super muddy. So I'm gonna do it today, but I've got a couple things that I really wanna cut back today first. So that's, why is the door open? I forgot to shut the door. I'm gonna cut some things back really quickly because that's not gonna make me get muddy, and then I don't have to worry about getting muddy and then having to do yard work. This bed right next to the Japanese anemones right there, I would like to do a little cleanup. I've got right here coneflower. I'm gonna cut that back. The death is bothering me. I would like to get that cut back. I have to pull the euphorbia that's there, and I would like to cut back the Beyond Pinked Bluebeard. So we're gonna cut back, pull, cut back, and then this bed, it's not gonna be completely cleaned up, but at least it'll look decent. Also, look at my columbine. All of this is columbine, and that one right there, that one is huge. Those are all the pink petticoat columbine. Stunning columbine. If you can find the seeds for it, highly recommend growing it. So I'm just gonna grab my Felcos really quick and do a little bit of cleanup, and then we'll dig in the mud. It's starting to rain, shoot. This bed is all cleaned up. I'm gonna have to continue to do some cleanup as we get colder and colder. These salvias will eventually probably bite the dust, and so I'll have to pull those at some point. And then I can come in and I can mulch for over the winter time. I do have about 1 million seedlings coming up back there, and I'm not sure what they are, but I think they're foxgloves. So I'm gonna leave them. Normally when I see 1 million seedlings coming up, I pull them, but I had a bunch of foxgloves in here, and I took the seeds and I sprinkled them this year, And I'm hoping that that's what those are. So fingers crossed that that is a million little foxgloves coming up. I love them. They're one of my favorite flowers. They're so pretty. I'm also hoping that maybe they're columbine, because I did sprinkle columbine seeds in here, and you can see that's what my columbine does during the winter time. Either way, beautiful. So much better. It's all cleaned up. I had some coneflowers in here. The one that I cut back, I just cut it back, and then I went to go cut back some of the other ones. I had 2 more in there, and I literally just like gathered them up, and the whole thing came out of the ground because of things that are eating my roots of my plants. So I'm probably going to order more spike strips and just maybe stick a couple in this area. They're so expensive though, but they seem to do the job. But it has to happen. Anyways, we'll do a little more cleanup in here. Oh, forgot to grab that branch. Whoops. And these ones. And that's my pile, by the way. Okay, there we go. I grabbed the last little pile that I had made right there. Salvia, that will all get cleaned up. The columbine, that's gonna stay all winter time. The nepeta right here, that's all gonna die back. That is the cat's pajamas or something like that. Nepeta, that one's been fine. It was my favorite. It's what introduced me into nepeta, and I loved it. And then I found better nepetas, and I love those even more. Junior Walker and Lemon Perfection nepetas, fabulous. But like I said, that was my introduction to nepeta, and so I'm really, really pleased with it. I'm gonna take a minute, dry off a little bit. I am wet. It is still raining. It's sprinkling. It's like a heavy sprinkle, if that makes sense. Anyways, I also found a toad. I almost stepped on it, so I just left him alone in there. So I'm gonna go in the greenhouse, dry off a little bit. Then I'm gonna grab the terracotta pot, put that in the gorilla cart, and then put the Japanese anemone inside the terracotta pot. The rain is starting to come down heavier. I'm getting inside. Okay, we got a decent amount pulled over there. I didn't pull all of it. It's so muddy. I need it to dry out just a little bit, but we're getting there. And then I did just put it in the rolled rim, and that is right there. I love that. I love rolled rim terracotta pots. I had the price tag on that one, so you can see it. It says $64, which feels like a lot of money, but it doesn't feel like that much for a rolled rim, I guess. And I feel like this is probably one that I got at Home Depot and I got it on sale. I did just pick one up for like 25 bucks the other day. Killer deal on it. Anyways, that is in there. The soil was so dry. It was so hydrophobic, so I had to sit there and mix it for a minute. They don't look the happiest, but they will totally rebound. They'll actually completely die back when it gets cold. And so there'll be nothing in this pot. And then it'll rebound and it'll regrow and it'll be so perfect. I think that's going to be so stunning. I'm going to have to give it some support because of how tall this one gets, so it will need that. But I'll deal with that this springtime. I'm just gonna shove 3 bamboo stakes in there, and then I will wrap wire around it so that way it doesn't flop. I think that's gonna make it so it doesn't flop, which will be really, really nice, because every year I've had this one, it's flopped. It's been beautiful, but it flops, and it usually flops at the end of the season. This year it flopped right as the blooms opened, and it was such a bummer, and all of the foliar growth burned to a crisp. So I cut it back. A lot of it came back, and I just put it in this pot. I'm gonna toss the rest of it because I don't want that much of that variety, but I would like another variety, and I would like it back here where I put this one at, tucked behind the greenhouse. I want this to be kind of like a little secret woodland garden the following year, not this coming year. This coming year, I think I want to do cut flowers back here, at least in the springtime. I'm going to put ranunculus, snapdragons. I've got sweet peas growing. I want to do things like that, and then kind of just go from there. We'll see what happens. But I am very pleased. I feel like we got a decent amount of things done on this very, very, very wet day. I am soaked. I am completely muddy. It's not great. I'm going to go inside now. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for joining me in the garden today, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, you guys.